Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Five Plays YouTube channel. Today is Saturday, July 27th. Welcome to the weekend. I'm back breaking down a few more plays for the Saturday slate of games. We're going to be looking at the New York Yankees going up against the Boston Red Sox as the first play of the day. And then the best play of the day is going to be between the Chicago Cubs and the Kansas City Royals. 4 total player props a day. The 2 best player props will be towards the end of the video. I hope everybody has a great start to their weekend, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, let's get into this graphic from Friday night. Right now, as it stands, 1-0 in the game. Actually, we're going to be 1-1 because the Yankees game just ended. Juan Soto did not go over 1.5 bases. So 1-1 on the best plays so far. Pirates and the D-backs going right now. Pirates up 3-0 in the bottom of the second. D-backs threatening, bases loaded. So that one's looking pretty good for the over 8.5 bases on the best play. Hopefully, we can go 2-1 there. And then the graphic plays, another stinker here. And this game really pissed me off. Reds and the Rays. Ellie De La Cruz was worthless today, but the Reds and the Rays over 7.5 runs. We had 4 runs in the first 2 innings. Thought we were well on our way to the over in that game. They did nothing through 9 innings, and then the top of the 10th, the Reds get one, and the Rays, they can't answer with a run themselves. So I was hoping maybe in the extras we can get that push, but again, nothing happening in the middle of that game. Very tough loss on that one. We have Christian Walker over 1.5 bases going for the D-backs right now. Hopefully he can get us on the board for the graphic plays. Let's take a look at the MLB leaderboard for the best plays of the day. Player props going to go to 1-1, so we are going to be 7-4 for the last 7, and the game pick is over 8.5 runs in that Pirates and D-backs game. So that one is looking pretty good. Hopefully we can get a win there and go 2-1. Let's try to go 3-0 for these Saturday games. We're going to be looking at the New York Yankees going up against the Boston Red Sox as the first play. I always love to break down this series because these teams, they hate each other, and they're usually both pretty good at the same time. This season, they still hate each other. Both these teams are pretty good as well. So we're going to have a good game in this one. This should be a pretty good matchup as well for both these teams. We're going to see a couple guys on the mound who have been up and down this season. Marcus Stroman going on the mound for the Yankees, Cutter Crawford going on the mound for the Boston Red Sox. And we're going to start with Marcus Stroman, who has settled himself back down over the last couple games going up against the Tampa Bay Rays. In both those games, before the games against the Rays, he had gone 5 of his last 6 outings, giving up 3+ runs, and that's brought his ERA up to 3.51 on the season. He was on tilt, and I'm pretty sure I broke him down on the free play side, talking about how he's on tilt right before the All-Star break. I do think he's back to his normal self, and I do think he's going to get through this Boston Red Sox lineup pretty easily, giving the Yankees a chance to win this one. So I'm going to take the Yankees here on the money line as the play. Also, the Yankees just blew it against the Red Sox. They lost 9-7 after the Red Sox scored. I think it was 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th. So shout out Luke Weaver. Haven't seen that guy in a long time. Luke Weaver sucks he's in the bullpen because I would love to take him as a starting pitcher going up against teams. But Luke Weaver blew the game here. Crawford, he's going to be on the other side of the Boston Red Sox. He was on a mission over the last 3 games, giving up just 1 run over the last 3 games before he met up with the Dodgers. And against those Dodgers, he had one of his worst performances of the season. It was his last start. He went 5 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 home runs in that game. I think it's going to be extremely hard for him to bounce back in this one, especially going up against the Yankees with the most home runs this season in the MLB. That's got to shake your confidence just a little bit, giving up 5 home runs in your last start. And he's now given up 19 home runs on the season. That's too many in my mind. He's still coming in with pretty good numbers on the season, 3.37 ERA, 1.05 whip, and I'm just a little bit concerned about the last start for him. I think both these teams have very good bats, and at the end of the day, it's going to be which starting pitcher I trust the most to go 5+ innings of 1 run or scoreless baseball. That would be Marcus Stroman. Give me the Yankees here on the money line as the play. Let's go to the player props on the screen. We're taking Aaron Judge. He just hit a towering home run right before I hopped on here. We're taking him over 1.5 bases, getting a pretty good matchup going up against Crawford. There's not a whole lot of matchups that aren't considered a good matchup for Aaron Judge going up against anybody in the league because he hits the fastball so well this season. And this is going to be a right-on-right matchup where Crawford has actually struggled more going up against the same side. Aaron Judge, before that towering home run that we saw tonight, did not have a hit in 3 consecutive games, and he's back to his normal self. He's right back on track hitting home runs. The numbers for him against the right side, 26 home runs, 309 batting average, make it 27 home runs after the home run we just saw, make it 28 home runs after the game today. Give me Aaron Judge here over 1.5 bases as the graphic play. Let's move on to the best play of the day. We're going to be looking at the Cubs going up against the Kansas City Royals. I'm going to continue to attack the Cubs bats because they've been so bad after the All-Star break. And I can't take the Royals, obviously, on the money line because they screw me so many times. So we're just going to take the under in this game, 8.5 runs as the play. And we are going to start with the pitching for the Cubs. And it's going to be Shota Umanaga back on the mound, who leads the MLB this season in WAR for any rookie starting pitcher. I'm also pretty certain he leads the Chicago Cubs this season in WAR. Maybe Justin Steele has more impact than him, but he has been very good this season. He was getting banged up in the month of June and into July a little bit, but over the last 2 games, he's back to his normal self, being lights out. This is what we saw early in the season for him, and he's just going back to the basics, getting ahead in counts and keeping the pitch count down. In the last game against the Arizona Diamondbacks, he went 7 innings, only gave up 2 hits in that game, striking out 10, and that brought his ERA back down to 2.86. And those numbers, they are impressive by themselves, but he did that against the Arizona Diamondbacks, or the best team in baseball against left-handed pitching. He also had a start against the Orioles right before the All-Star break, doing 6 innings in that game. Didn't give up a run in that game either and struck out 6. So he's now gone back-to-back games where he looks like a Cy Young candidate. The Royals, they have been hot with the bats after the All-Star break. They scored 6+ in 4 of the last 6 games. Now make it 5 of the last 7 games after the game against the Cubs on Friday night. But I don't think they're going to do a lot of damage going up against Shota, who has been unstoppable over the last couple games. And speaking of things that have been unstoppable, Seth Lugo is going to be back on the mound after his best start of his career going up against the Chicago White Sox. 9 innings, a complete game, struck out 6, giving up just 3 hits. This is the signing of the year. The Royals, they got him in free agency. Nobody really wanted him. He's coming into this game with a 2.38 ERA. He's also bringing in a nearly sub-1 whip. And the Chicago Cubs, since the All-Star break, they've been as bad as the White Sox hitting the ball. I'm going to trust both pitchers in this game to get the job done. Give us 5+, 6+ innings of work here. Shut everybody down. Give me the under 8.5 runs as the best play of the day. For the player props on the screen, I'm not taking anybody for this one. I've been too loose with the graphic plays. I did go out and find you guys another play, though. We're going to be looking at the Mets going up against the Braves. Spencer Schwellenbach's going to be back on the mound, and we're going to take Mark Vientos to get a couple base knocks against him going up against the Braves. He has a 346 batting average against the fastball with a +7 run value. He's also very good against the slider, having a +3 run value of 250 batting average as well. And that's what we've been seeing out of Spencer all season long. A lot of fastball, a lot of slider. So not in this game, but I like Mark Vientos of the Mets to have himself a good game against Spencer over 1.5 bases as a graphic play today. Let's go over to the best props of the day. We're going to be looking at the Philadelphia Phillies going up against the Cleveland Guardians. Give me Alec Bohm over 1.5 bases as the play. We're going to start with the pitching matchup because Carlos Carrasco is back on the mound. I gave a big spiel last time Carlos was on the mound about him not being good enough to be in the Guardians rotation. I was exactly right. The Guardians, they have been pretty good this season. I feel like they have to have somebody better than Carlos Carrasco to fill that spot for him. And in the last game, he was the worst he's been all season long. 9 hits, 6 runs. It brought his ERA up to 5.32 on the season. That makes 4 of the last 5 games that he's given up 6+ hits. And for Bohm, this has really been a breakout season for him. He's getting a right-handed matchup where he's hitting .312 in the season with 26 doubles and 7 home runs. So he has been an extra base hitting machine against righties. And the big reason why we are targeting him in this game is because Carlos Carrasco, he throws that fastball and the slider more than anything. When you add him up, 50% of the time he throws those 2 pitches. We should see at least a double in this game from Alec Bohm because he's hitting the fastball .339 on the season and the slider .362 on the season. He has a +19 run value with those 2 pitches combined, and he does see those pitches nearly 50% of the time as well throughout the season. So even though he is hitting those pitches very well, people are still throwing it at him, not learning their lesson. I love him in this play to rip a double, maybe a couple doubles, over 1.5 bases as the best batting prop of the day. Let's go over to the pitching prop. Looking at the Seattle Mariners going up against the White Sox. The White Sox on Friday night, they allowed 8 runs in the first inning with 2 outs. They're currently still have not scored a run on Friday night. I think that's going to continue going into this game because that's what we've been seeing all season long out of this team. I'm taking the Mariners' best pitcher this season, under 1.5 runs going up against the White Sox. I don't think we have any chance of this being under 2.5 runs, so we're just going to take the under 1.5. Brian Wu, he's back on the mound. He has been very good this season for the Mariners. He's bringing in a 2.54 ERA and a 0.87 whip. That is the best in baseball for any starting pitcher with a minimum of 10 games play for the whip. He's only had one really bad start going up against the Angels. He gave up 4 runs. But other than that, he's been basically shutting down everybody. And the big reason that I love Brian Wu is that he made the adjustments from 2023 to 2024. In 2023, he was walking way too many people. He was giving up way too many home runs. And this season, in his 10 games that he's been in, he's only walked 5 total batters, and he's giving up 4 home runs. And you're going to win a lot of games if you have those kind of numbers. In this matchup, he's going up against the worst team in baseball. They're only hitting .214 against right-handed pitching this year. That's the worst in baseball. And the White Sox, they can't hit anything. Going up against the fastball, they only have 2 active players that are going to be on the field in this game that have a run value above 2. And against the sinker, it's more of the same. Only a handful of guys have plus run values going up against a sinker. Brian, he throws a lot of fastball and sinker. We are going to see that about 80% of the time because he only throws a sweeper, a curveball, and a slurve combined at 21% of the time. This is as friendly as a matchup as it gets for any starting pitcher in the major leagues. He just has to go out there, execute like he's been doing all season long, and we're going to be on our way to an easy win. Give me the under 1.5 runs as the play here. Let's go over the graphic recap. We are going to be looking at the Yankees on the money line going up against the Boston Red Sox. Aaron Judge over 1.5 base in that game going up against the Red Sox as well. Then we have Mark Vientos over 1.5 bases getting the matchup against Spencer Schwellenbach. Cubs and the Royals under 8.5 runs in that game. Shota Umanaga going up against Seth Lugo. Alec Bohm over 1.5 bases getting the matchup against Carlos Carrasco. And then Brian Wu, I am hopeful that's going to be under 2.5 runs, but I'm going to be realistic and say under 1.5 runs as the best pitching prop of the day. Guys, that's going to do it for the MLB picks and props for Saturday, July 27th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.